Hi guys, AzureAce here and I am back with another Dragon Ball Super episode discussion. In the last episode, episode 50, Black arrived in the past and was quickly met by Goku, who wanted to fight him. The fight was hard fought, however the time distortions created by Trunks going back to the past forced Black to return to the future against his own will. However, just as he disappeared, he fired a ki blast which destroyed Trunks' time machine, sending Trunks and the gang into a realm of despair. But all hope was not lost as Bulma recovered a capsule, and inside it lay Cell's time machine that he used to get to Earth at the beginning of the Cell saga as we come to episode 51, Feelings That Transcend Time, Trunks and Mai. Before I get into the video, I just want to say that I'm not giving brief thoughts on an episode anymore, so I can leave them till the end, because I've noticed that quite a lot lately I've been repeating myself in the brief thoughts and in the overall judgment, so I'm going to stop doing that so I can leave all my thoughts for the end. Also, I'm going to be going back to the format that I did before I left for vacation, which is just talking about it at length, going in depth and having screenshots in the background, so don't worry, that's coming back for this video and beyond. But in any case, the episode begins with the last episode ended off with everyone being in awe of Cell's time machine that Bulma kept over the years. Bulma then goes on to explain what happened, and we get flashbacks from Dragon Ball Z Kai, and I find it pretty hilarious that Toei are trying to cover up the fact that Trunks' hair was purple in Dragon Ball Z by making the screen kinda a sepia colour. You can see it now, it's a kinda orangey brown colour, so that they can disguise the fact that, you know, he had purple hair instead of blue hair in Dragon Ball Z. And then we actually get a newly drawn flashback of Gohan, Bulma and future Trunks checking out the time machine during the Cell saga, which I thought was kinda cool. It's nice that they are, you know, going and redoing some of the scenes, although it's annoying me that, you know, they're doing the old Kai style and then they're switching to the new reanimated style. It's kind of jarring. It's kind of like how Trunks' hair is purple in some of the scenes in the early Future Trunks arc episodes and then blue in the Super episodes. But I digress. Trunks turned the Cell time machine into a capsule, then he gave it to Bulma for safekeeping later on. Trunks, Vegeta and Goku say that they're going to the future right now, but Bulma, you know, stops them because of how bad the condition of the time machine is, and she doesn't know how to fix it right now, so this gives them quite a lot of time to do whatever they can while Bulma repairs it, and Goku immediately runs over to Whis asking him to train him. He says no because he's in a foul mood because the humans have been creating time machines and manipulating time, almost like they're trying to annoy the gods, like Beerus says. Vegeta goes into the gravity room to train, which is nice because we haven't seen that since the Buu saga, to my knowledge anyway. But Goku then arrives at King Kai's place and asks him to train him, and he's like, no, look at what you've done to my place, go away, get out of here, which I found pretty funny. So we then cut to the future with Black, and we see this really, it looks really nice, but it's really odd because he says that he is like, I can't remember his exact words, but he's like embedded Goku's fighting style into his being. And he gets into Goku's fighting stance that he does before going into a fight, and we see that his black aura go through him, but it shows Goku's traditional gi as it happens. I don't know what this is implying. It might be symbolism that he is becoming more and more like Goku. I don't honestly know. I'd have to kind of look into that, ask a couple of people. He then just throws a ki blast down to the ground and says that he wants to learn more about Goku. We come back to the past and we finally get to see the Briefs again. It's been a while since we last saw them. Mrs. Brief greets future Trunks because they've met before. And we get one of the best scenes in Dragon Ball Super, with Beerus spinning this straw in his mouth, which creates just the best noise ever. It was so hilarious and unpredictable that I didn't expect it. You're seeing the gif on screen now, it's so funny. You have to watch the episode and listen to the noise it makes as well, it's hilarious. Bulma then hands her future notes to Dr. Brief, who will be repairing the time machine with her, so it seems. The Pilaf gang start plotting to take the time machine, and then Pilaf shouts Mai and Shu's name. This obviously sets alarm bells ringing off in Trunks' head, and then he kneels down to Mai and takes her hand. Everyone then goes away to do whatever, Bulma and Brief go to the lab, Piccolo and Krillin are charged with repairing the garden, blah blah blah. But then we get more world building, which is really what this episode has been used for. A lot of world building. Trunks explains what happened after Black first struck Earth. He wiped out like the majority of humanity. However, humanity, or rather the rest of humanity, fought back, and Future Mai was one of the kind of leaders behind this resistance. We see the people kind of shooting at Black, but obviously nothing's doing anything. Black just catches the bullets like they're nothing, and Black fires ki blasts back at them, killing multiple humans. However, they lure him into a corner, set bombs off, making buildings fall on top of him, but again, obviously, doesn't work against him, and he's about to go out and kinda just screw Mai's day over, but Trunks appears out of nowhere and bites him. Black said that he saw the creation of humans and thought that the gods were weak and made a mistake in creating them. So this pretty much all but confirms that Black is on the level of a god somehow and does know of them. Trunks gets blasted back and is just about to get hit, but then a flash grenade appears out of nowhere and Mai and Trunks are able to escape and get to safety. Mai does actually mention in the flashback that Senzu beans are not present, and Trunks also says that Korin isn't there anymore. So it's actually unknown whether Korin's dead or he's just not present there at the moment, but they don't have Senzu beans anymore, so that's pretty bad for them. While this is all going on, Kid Trunks is understandably confused as hell. He's like, what is going on? I can't handle this. But Future Trunks then explains that Mai did die in the future, although she didn't die like we saw at the end of the last episode. Pilaf and Shu actually appear to ask if they were in the future, but Trunks says he never met them, so maybe they're dead in the future as well, or they're just not present. Who actually knows? Maybe we'll see them down the line. But Goku appears out of nowhere and tells Trunks to rest for a bit. Kid Trunks and the Pilaf gang head over to the lab and are charged with cleaning up the time machine. Then we cut back to Beerus and Whis, who talk about Black, and they say they have felt his key somewhere before, which I've already talked about in my episode 51 to 54 leaks video that I put out a couple of days ago. Please go check that out, but be wary of spoilers if you will. But that's all for this episode, as it ends right there. Now my overall thoughts of this episode. It was pretty good. Not the best of this arc, but really I feel that this episode was all about exposition and world building, because it very much seems like that is what this episode was intended for, which I don't actually mind. It actually just prolongs the arc and makes it longer, which is obviously a very good thing, and it also makes us understand what's going on. This and the next episode look like they're going to be solely about exposition and just calming us all down for the storm that's inevitably going to come, because all of the episodes up until now have been action packed from start to finish. I actually really liked that they included some of the scenes from Kai but redone so that they were in the animation style for Super. However, on that note, it annoyed me that they were jumping to and from the old and new scenes. That could have been changed a little bit, but that's really my only gripe for this episode. There were more nice things that came back. The briefs came back, the gravity room also seems like it's coming back soon. And how can I go through this overall thoughts without mentioning that Beerus straw spin? I loved it. It was so hilarious that I had to mention it again. But with my overall judgments out of the way, it's time to get into the previews, and we've got a good one coming our way with the next episode, episode 52, entitled Master and Pupil Reunion, Son Gohan and Future Trunks. And right off the bat, we finally get our first look at the new character in the opening, our new green Kaioshin, Zamasu. And I am so excited about that. I've been waiting for a while to see what Zamasu offers up in Super. We also get to see that Gohan and Future Trunks are finally getting to meet each other after so long. And just look at Trunks' face here when he meets Great Saiyaman. I bet he's thinking, my god Gohan, what have you become? I've been waiting for this episode ever since the arc was confirmed. The interactions between Trunks and Gohan are going to be amazing. Maybe they'll start to bond again and become training partners, with Trunks training Gohan, which would be a nice homage to future Gohan and Trunks. That would be nice to see future Trunks as the master this time round. Now we finally get very interesting scenes as we see some of the scenes in the history of Trunks special which are getting reanimated in the Super style, which is utterly amazing to me. It includes some of my favourite scenes throughout the entirety of Dragon Ball Z and just Dragon Ball in general. One thing I do want to point out is that Trunks' hair is blue in this reanimation of History of Trunks, which is kinda odd, you know. They must be seriously wanting all of us to think that he had blue hair in Z, but I digress, it's not much of a big detail to overthink. We also get to see Goku, Beerus and Whis heading somewhere, and that's right everyone, they're heading to Universe 10, like the leak said, which is the realm of the Kaioshin, as they have a lead on Black's identity, which I also spoke about in my leaks video. Also, please do be on the lookout because I will have a video out this week hopefully about my thoughts on who Black actually is now that we have this new information. To end off these previews, we just see Trunks and Gohan on the swings while Pan is playing in the sand in front of them, so it looks like this episode is just going to be another exposition heavy one, with Trunks telling Gohan about how he and future Gohan were master and pupil, and Gohan will be telling Trunks about how he became who he is now. But that's all for today everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of my Dragon Ball Super episode discussions. Please leave a like, comment your thoughts, share this amongst your friends and subscribe to join the Azure Army today. Thank you.